Hi, I'm John Alsop. I've been doing SEO since about 2000 and I'm going to give you a very quick guide to what SEO is, how to do it and why you should care. SEO is search engine optimization, which means getting found on Google. When people want something, they go and search for it, and if they want what you sell, then you want to be found. Now when people say I want to be on top of Google, what they don't realize is there are a zillion different Google pages depending on what people search on. And most people think there are maybe 5 or 6 phrases they want to be found for, when really there are hundreds if not thousands. So if I wanted a plumber, I might write plumber Scarborough, or I might write Scarborough plumber, for instance, just as 2 obvious different phrases. Now let me just prove this kind of range of different search phrases to you. My business, Surge Marketing, has been a general kind of internet marketing company, but now I want to concentrate on SEO and content marketing. So let's just do the key phrase analysis together. You can play along with your own business, but I'll go quickly just to keep the video short, so you'll have to keep pausing it, or you can watch it, print out the transcript and do yours later. You'll also need to know how to work a spreadsheet if you're going to play along. Okay, so go to Google and search for Google Keyword Planner. I was going to search for, but Google Keyword Tool will do the job, I'm sure. Okay, and this is what you're looking for: AdWords, google.com/keyword planner. Okay, click that. Now it's going to want you to sign in to your AdWords account. If you haven't got one, you're going to need to create one. Okay, it doesn't mean you're going to create any ads, you just need to create the account. I'm on a slow machine, I'm afraid, so here we go. Here's where we need the company song. What we're going to do is just use an obvious search phrase that we think a customer who wants what we sell would use in Google, and we're going to use that as a springboard to try and find other words. Okay, so here's the Google AdWords keyword planner tool, and what you want to do is have a look over here at the green headline, find new keywords and get search volume data, and you want to search for new keywords using a phrase, website or category. So you could actually put in your existing web page and Google would go and have a look at what it thinks your website's about, which is actually quite a good test in case you end up discovering that Google thinks your website is about something else than you actually want it to be. But so I said I wanted to be kind of more known for SEO and content marketing, so I'll put those in as my search phrases. Now we could choose locations, or we could leave it global, so we could choose UK, whatever. It's all in English language anyway, so we'll go with that. And if we just press get ideas, okay, so now what we've got is a list of the search phrases that people have typed into Google over the past whatever month, few years. This is by month. So here it's telling us, for instance, in this middle bit, SEO services, it's saying 10,000 to 100,000 people have searched that phrase, SEO services, in the last month. And the next column where it says competition, that's really important too. Okay, And then the next figure, it says if you did want to place an ad, they suggest that you pay £8.79 for each click. All right, and that's a figure that's been achieved by kind of popular vote, as it were, of all the people who want to be in that position, and so that represents the point where Google can make the most out of a click, but it's also still profitable for the people who receive the clicks. So there's obviously some money to be made there. Okay, so what we're going to do next is just download all these. So there are lots of phrases, okay, and actually there are 700. So we're just going to download those, and actually everyone has access to a spreadsheet in Google Drive, so I'm just going to place it in Google Drive, and then you can definitely play along whether you've got Excel or not. So now if we open the file, it will open up in Google's spreadsheet. It's not quite as kind of simple to use, I think, as Excel, but for the sake of you being able to definitely play along, then here we go. All right, so now some columns here are not needed, so I'm going to get rid of this column here, so I can just edit and delete column, and I can do the same with the currency column. And it's probably important that you kind of actually do this so that you can play along. And then everything, I'm going to click that, and then I think shift click that, highlights all of the columns, and I'm just going to delete all of those columns there, so I'm left with these. And then this column B is a bit of a problem because it's text, and we for what we're about to do, I want some numbers. So I'm going to insert a column. I need to title it, so I'm just going to create a slightly different title, and then I'm going to sort all this lot. So I actually need to, now this is where it's a bit of a pain. I haven't worked out how to do this in Google Sheets, but in Excel you don't need to do any of this, you can just sort it, but for some weird reason I need to highlight everything, and then I'm going to sort by I need to sort it by B, really. So how can I do that? Well, let's see what happens if I just sort it by column B. Oh, that actually worked. Fair enough. Previously it was taking the title and mixing it up. Anyway, right. So 1,000 to 10,000, the middle point of that is 5,500. So I'm just going to say that the average monthly, just to convert it roughly to figures, the average there is 5,500. And I'm just going to copy that down. Now if you do this in Excel, it will go 5,001, 5,002, 5,003. So I think you need to shift click, shift drag, or control drag or something like that, and just have a play. Right, so that's that. Between 10,000 and 100,000 is 55,000, so I'm going to do the same there. Just enter it once and then drag it down until we're beyond that lot. So that is 550,000. And then what's that? 550. Drag that one down, there'll be plenty of those. Okay, and then this is 55. and that should take us to the 700 mark at the bottom. So I've done this quite a few times. The 700 is obviously like an upper limit. There are obviously more phrases around than 700, but okay, so I don't need this text column anymore, so I'm just going to delete that. So that's fine. Okay, so now what we've got is enough to make a points column, which I'm going to, if you don't know how to put in a formula, if you press equals, then you can say, what I want to do is say it's the circulation divided by the competition. Okay, and then we can drag that all the way down to 700. Okay, and then we'd probably format that just so that we can read it more easily. Okay, right. So now we need to just look at this competition figure. 1 in that column means it's incredibly competitive, and you, well, I'm making an assumption that that you're not Bill Gates, so you know, we usually don't have infinite resources, time and money to throw at something, so we need to find niches that we can realistically get into and make a difference in. So a competition of 1 is, we are unlikely to get a foothold if we're just starting out, but equally a competition, well, let's just sort this, see if we can sort this by competition. So let's do that. Okay, so now we've got the high competition items here, and I would say that probably just arbitrarily above 0.75, let's say, is too much competition. So because I'm now going to actually delete some columns, I'm just going to make a can I make a, yeah, I'm just going to duplicate this sheet so I can always go back to the original. So now we're, you know, we're deleting stuff, we're not actually deleting it completely. So I'm just going to get rid of these with very high competition, because those are the competition will be too high for us to make a difference. Okay, and then I'm going to come down and I'm going to say, well, to be honest, if nobody else is competing for a phrase, then, you know, there's probably no money to be made in it. So all of these at the bottom we need to get rid of. So let's get rid of, say, 0.25 then, again arbitrarily. We'll just get rid of all of those. So 0.25 is okay, below 0.25 nobody's making any money on those phrases particularly. There's a little bit there because people are bidding, but just, you know, to give you the idea of in principle. Okay, so we've got rid of the ones where you can't make any money, and we've got rid of the ones that are too competitive. And now if we order by points, then we can start working down. And so that gives me some key phrases to try and write content about. So let me just check my piece of paper, make sure I've covered everything. Yeah, so basically the next thing to do is to look through these key phrases. So here, marketing strategy. So I could write an article about marketing strategy in order to attract people who are searching for marketing strategy and end up, you know, they want SEO, they want content marketing, SEO, fine. digital marketing, I could talk about that. I could talk about Google SEO. I could talk about search engine marketing, SEO tools, and on and on. The further down you get, the longer phrases are usually better phrases. So something like web marketing services is something that you might want to be top for. Just keep going. SEO expert, SEO packages, and so on. So basically you look down the list of potential key phrases, and the point of this video is to help you realize how many key phrases there are that you could get traffic from and make some money from. So for instance, digital marketing plan, if I could get to the top of Google for digital marketing plan, the competition isn't too hot. Each click is worth £3.74 on average. Okay, it's worth paying £3.74 for on average. So if you think in terms of marketing being a 10% budget of turnover, then you might expect to make £37 per click on a click that was search on somebody who was searching for digital marketing plan. And the game then is how you do that. But just to realize that, so I've got how many have I got here? 378 phrases here, so that's basically one a day. So I could write an article, one article every day. And if you can imagine what my website would be like in terms of how much more attractive it would be to Google and to people searching for what I provide, if I wrote that article a day based on these key phrases and ended up with a website that was full of useful content for people to turn to, then I would be ranking somewhere in Google after all that effort. So anyway, I'll leave you to it. The next video is about content marketing.